What's going on, traders? Few things to talk about. Before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So in our last video, we talked about how institutions are loading up 579 puts on the SPY with an expiration of March 21st. And we're going to talk about that in a bit, but I just want to talk about the SPY daily time frame real quick and I just find it really interesting how we keep selling off in this area. And what I mean by that is this is where Jerome Powell originally sold out the market. We talked about this plenty of times. But every time we hit this zone, we get bad news. And I think that's very convenient, right? I've been trading for 10 years and it's very interesting how we keep getting bad news every time we hit this zone. So for example, here we got DeepSeek AI news and then the SPY sold off. And then here, once again, we get Trump tariff news. So I think that's very interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Just how perfect timing news tends to have every time we hit key areas, such as this area right here where Jerome Powell originally sold off the market. So, let me know what you guys think about that. But as far as your key levels here, 598, we talked about this in the past. Every time we break 598, we see a crazy sell off towards the downside. We see it here where Jerome Powell sold off the market. We see it here where we retested about 602, 603 range, and then we sold off again. And then here we retested almost 598 on the dot, and then we sold off again. And so here we want to see 598 hold if we're looking to be bullish. Now it's important to note that we broke back below this supply and demand zone. So it's going to be very interesting. Now, what I will say, and this is something I haven't mentioned in quite some time. Usually, what happens on Fridays happens on Mondays. What I mean by that is usually when Fridays, or historically, when Fridays are bearish, typically Mondays continue with that, bearish thesis. And if, Fridays is bearish, then not bearish, but bullish, then you typically get the same reaction on Mondays. So we could be seeing more of a sell off come Monday. Now, you don't want to jump the gun, of course. You want to see if that 598 level holds, but if it doesn't hold, then chances are you're heading back towards that 594 area. You want to see 593 hold. And if you give up 593, then that's where things can get really, really ugly. And you can start talking about a gap fill all the way towards 584. And so interesting enough, today we get an alert from our Discord bot at 9:32 a.m. Eastern time that institutions are loading up 590 puts for the SPY with an expiration of March 21st and a premium of 650K. And so we scroll back up, just in case you're new to the channel, we had an alert come Wednesday that institutions are loading up 579 puts for the expiration of February 21st with a premium of 3.3 million. And so we go to quant data and we check and see if this is correct. We see if, institutions are actually trading those 590 puts, and we see right here that they are indeed in these positions. So today, the date is January 31st, of course. You scroll over, you see SPY, February 21st, puts, and then they loaded up at 607.01. So right now, the SPY sold off towards close. So we see that they are very much in profit. They came in at the ask, and then the premiums are 400K, 200K, 100K, so on and so forth. Sentiment is bearish, and then you have the various exchanges in these positions here. But not only that, something else interesting happened today as well. And so we go to the March 21st expiration for the SPY, and Wells loaded up even more puts, but not the 590 puts. They loaded up more puts for 579. Right? No, this is wrong. Let me click on it one more time. But they loaded up more puts for the 579 strike. But this is where things get really, really crazy, guys. The premiums for these puts are at around 5 million. It's not working. Here we go. And so the premiums for these puts, so we go right here, January 31st, SPY, March 21st, 2025. Right here, you have the strike of 579, and then you have another strike coming in at 575. And right now, these are in profit. All right, these are in profit. They're probably not much. I mean, they probably would be a lot because it's it's an institution. They put a lot of money on the line. But the premium is at 5.89 million for the 579 puts, and then the premium for the 575 puts are 5.18 million. So something very, very interesting to think about here. And so we click on this spike here. Hopefully, I get it right the first time here. Right, and so we click this spike right here, and we see that they doubled down on those 579 strike. We scroll over, right? And so we see the strike here is 579, and then you have another strike of 575. And so they doubled down on those positions with a premium of 6.88 million and another premium of 6.06 million. So something is coming, guys. As you guys know, I'm pretty bearish for the month of February, probably even March. It's just not looking good. When you're seeing what's happening on the options chain, things are just not looking good. And so, could this be the start of the sell off that we've been talking about, or the sell off that these whales are anticipating? And I can't say for sure until we break below some key levels, which is 598 on the SPY. And so, all time highs is still very much on the table, or even more highs is still very much on the table as long as we hold that level of 598. And so, we look at the triple Qs, right? We look at the triple Qs and we broke below some very key levels. We rejected this zone right here at around 529. We actually rejected around 531, but 529 was our key level. We broke below 529, we broke below 527, we broke below 525. Our psych level, I mean, it got pretty bad, right? And so your key level here you really want to see hold is 515. Obviously, before that, you want to see 518 hold, but 515 is your main level that you really, really want to see hold. If triple Qs gives up 515, it can get really, really bad, and chances are you're going to head towards 510. After that, you really, really want to see 503 hold on the triple Qs. Otherwise, it's domestic violence all across the market. You better sell the house. Your house is on fire. Pack your bags. It's over with. Okay, so just want to make that clear, right? I just want to get you guys prepared for possible downside. But as long as we're holding 515, I would imagine, or I would say that we're safe for now. We're pretty safe for now, right? And so we go back to the SPY real quick, and I just want to point something out in regards to the SPY. Just because there are 579 puts coming in from institutions, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to go straight to 579 or even below 579. We can just simply fill this gap at 584 and then possibly bounce higher, right? It's very much possible. So it's not, guaranteed that we're going to head all the way towards the 570s on the SPY, at least not yet. At least I'm not seeing that just yet. It's very much possible, but we can just fill this gap. They take profit and then we start heading higher from here. It's very much possible. So I just want to make that clear. Or, they already sold their positions and we just continue to head higher. But again, we just want more confirmation, or at least I want more confirmation before we start, calling for some crazy levels towards 560, which I do think is going to happen sometime this year. It's just, I just don't have enough confirmation for us to talk about 560s on the SPY just yet. So stick around. I'll definitely be making more videos in the future. And so we have to talk about the VIX, right? And then I'm going to give you guys a stock that I think is going to see massive downside. Okay. So VIX. And so in the Discord today, I was talking about the VIX, right? I was talking about the VIX, filling this gap. I also posted this in the community tab, so check it out. Turn on notifications if you're following me. But yeah, VIX filled this gap all the way at the 15 level, 15 strike level, right? Not only did it fill this gap, but it hit the supply and demand zone right here. I don't have it marked out, but there's definitely a zone here. Source, trust me, bro. And then we not only did that, but we are bouncing off this trend here, right? And I said I'm going to load. I said in the Discord I'm going to load more puts on the SPY once VIX fills this gap. And as soon as VIX filled this gap, and I mean almost as soon as it filled this gap, 10 minutes later, the Trump tariff news comes in. Again, let me know what you guys think about that. I just think it's crazy timing how news comes into the market. I think that's just insane. And so as soon as the VIX hits the support level, not only hits the support level, fills this gap, you get that Trump tariff news. And so I do think the VIX is going to continue to head higher from here. How high? I'm looking at the 20s for now. Okay. But we'll have to wait and see, right? VIX can very much break the support. I'm not counting on it, but it's very much possible. And so we got to talk about Nvidia, and then I'm going to give you guys the stock that I've been talking about for as far as downside goes. All right. So we look at Nvidia. And so I said this in the Discord. I think Nvidia is going to be the reason the market really tanks. Nvidia is fighting for its life for the 200-day SMA. All right. I don't have it up. Source, trust me, bro. Okay. But Nvidia has been really, really fighting to hold the 200-day SMA. So if Nvidia gives up 117, you're looking at some crazy downside. And right now you have this massive rising wedge for Nvidia with the measured move all the way towards 90. The short-term measured move is around 113. Okay, so we could very much see 113 and then bounce from there. Now, I know Jensen is meeting up with President Trump come Monday, I believe. So there is this gap all the way at 140. So this could very much be some type of bear trap. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, I'm giving you guys what the charts are giving me. And right now, Nvidia is really fighting to hold the 200-day SMA. But again, I still think Nvidia is going to see 100 pretty soon. We'll just have to wait and see, right? And so that leads me to the stock that I've been talking about as in regards to downside. And so we look at TSM. And so we jumped into, what am I doing? And so we jumped into TSM puts at around, I want to say 214. And so today in our Discord, the Discord bot alerted to us that institutions are in 195 puts for February 21st, 2025 with a premium of 2.66 million. Now, this was alerted yesterday, but we didn't get in until today because I wanted a better entry. And so we got in at around 214. Right now, after hours, TSM is at 208. And so someone asked me to go over it in the Discord. And so we look at the daily time frame, and behold, you have a shooting star reversal pattern. Okay, so TSM can very much see more downside from this point on. Not only that, but it rejected this resistance, this 3 month resistance here at around 212.9. And I've been saying that I will load up puts if we see some type of rejection from that level, and we got exactly that. Not only did we get that, let's zoom in actually. We not only did we get that, but we got a shooting star reversal pattern, right? So pretty good entry, I would say. Would say we are in profit on this play. Again, if you want access to these plays, Discord link is in the description below. But yeah, I do think TSM is going to head lower towards 186, somewhere around there, 190, 186. What causes that? I don't know. And what causes this SPY 579 puts to really cash out or head that low? I don't know what's going to cause that. Okay, I don't know when it's going to happen. I will say that much as well. We can very much just bounce from this point on, and maybe it just doesn't happen until another 2 weeks, right? But I just want to bring that to you guys' attention. I want you guys to be aware. I want you guys to be prepared. Okay, so IWM, and this is why I was anticipating some type of drop because the Russell was not moving. This is why you pay attention to everything. Nasdaq is pumping, right? ES is pumping, SPY is pumping, Qs is pumping, but the Russell was not doing anything. And this is why I love the Russell, because the Russell is a great indicator on whether or not a pump is real or a drop is real. And so when you're seeing everything else pump, but you're not seeing small caps move, it just tells you that something is coming and that the Russell is waiting on something. I would have thought that maybe PCE data would cause the Russell to move, even though it was at expectations. I was expecting maybe some more upside from the Russell, but we didn't get that, right? And we saw more downside, and the Russell just continues to reject that I'm not 229, 230 level, right? So that's one of the reasons why I was leaning towards downside, and I just wasn't really believing this move in regards to upside when it comes to the SPY and the triple Qs. Not only that, but Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is just consolidating here. And I know a lot of traders consider Bitcoin a leading indicator, but here you're just bouncing back and forth. And this has been happening for days, guys, for days. And Bitcoin is just not moving. We're seeing NQ pump, we're seeing ES pump, but Bitcoin is just consolidating. So you have Bitcoin, one of the leading indicators, consolidating and just not doing anything between, just bouncing between 105 or 106, give or take, and 102K. And then you have the Russell barely moving as well. And then you have Microsoft still dropping, right? You still have Microsoft dropping despite what we're seeing across the market, or at least between the SPY and the triple Qs. You still have Microsoft dropping. And then not only that, you have Apple dropping as well. I mean, Apple just gave up all of its earnings gains, which is not surprising. I mean, they had nothing for guidance. I don't know why everyone was hyped. They had absolutely nothing for guidance. Yeah, we're gonna sell more iPhones, more iPads. We're doing great. We're selling in other countries. China still hates us. Like, it's not surprising that this happened. I even marked this move out in the Discord that I believe Apple is going to start selling off soon. Now, I did think we would see a little bit above 250, but we didn't even get that. We didn't even get 250 for Apple. So right now, we are hitting this trend on Apple, so it can very much recover from here. But we broke back below the supply and demand zone. So if we can't get back above these bears right here and stop them out of their position, it's looking really bad for Apple. And as you guys know, I have a price target of 206 in regards to downside when it comes to Apple. What causes that? I don't know. Maybe those 579 puts are a sign of that. But right now, that's really all I have. Let me know what you guys think. What do you agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Just keep it respectful as always. Pretty crazy week. We got a crazy week next week. A lot of earnings coming in next week. Really interested in Palantir earnings. We'll talk about that in another video this weekend. And yeah, until the next video, traders, have you a good one. Oh, wait, no. I want to shout out some members because these guys have been going crazy in the Discord. I mean, they've been going crazy. I mean, this guy going crazy. The bot, a lot of these are bot alerts as well. He's in 580 puts, Dow Jones puts, triple Qs. This guy's here, triple Qs puts. Made 3,000 this week. So I mean, it's insane. I mean, SPX. This guy is trading SPX here. Made 3,000. It's a lot of money being made here. Chris, he played team earnings to the upside, made 1,900 off of that. Snow calls up on that. GLW, CELH, Apple calls. He played earnings for Apple. I believe he took profit on those. So yeah, join the Discord, guys. It's a really fun community. We joke, we have fun, we talk, all that, and we're slowly, slowly growing. Other than